Welcome to the It's All About the Yarn podcast, episode 3. My name is Kate, and I'm coming to you from southeastern Idaho. On a sunny day where they're out harvesting potatoes right across the street from me. I'm hoping it won't be too noisy, but I'm going to do a test first, so hopefully we'll be able to record today. I am wearing today the Sophie scarf. I just got a haircut, so my neck's cold all the time now. But I'll take it off. It is knit out of hand-spun mohair in a natural color. And it's just a little scarf that's garter stitch with a I-cord border. Very fun to knit, very comfortable. I've knit 3 of them now, but they when I'm cold, they're nice and cozy just to put a little bit. A lot of people wear them around their head or do lots of different things, but I wanted it for a neck scarf, so that is what I did. I'd like to tell you that I am finished with the Corin cardigan, but for some reason I don't want to work on it. I don't know what it is, and I want it to be my Rhinebeck sweater, so I only have a month before I leave because I'm going early to connect with my sister. But this is what I've got so far. I have most of the body done. I have like maybe a quarter of a sleeve. Maybe only a quarter of the sleeve done. And for some reason, I just don't want to work on it. It's kind of weird. I just want to work on other things or do other things. You know, I'm lucky if I get 4 or 8 rows a day done. I'm trying to motivate myself to get going on it, but it hasn't happened yet. I did start the Ranunculus cowl, Ranunculus cowl, on the 1st, and I was gung-ho crazy working on it, and then I decided the cowl lasts all year. You don't need to finish it right away, and you should be working on your other sweaters. So I've just started to separate for the sleeves. So this is the yoke. Okay, it's made out of hand spun, and I don't even know what the content is anymore. It's so old. Spun it probably 15, 20 years ago. But it's very soft. It has a little metallic in it. It's probably merino with some angora and mohair and all sorts of blends in there. It was a blend that I bought. I didn't dye it. But the yoke was so much fun to knit. I'm doing it with a couple other people, or a couple of people in my local group are doing it. One is further along than me, one has barely started. So, but we have till the end of the year, so no hurry on that. But I am enjoying really working on it. So in addition to the Ranunculus, I was, let's see if I can find it right here. Yes, I follow Carol Feller, and she is a designer from Ireland. And she's doing an autumn knit along, and there was this vest, and I thought, oh, let me see if I can have a better picture of the vest, and I apparently do not. Oh, there's a picture of it right here. There she is in the pattern. Okay, there's the vest. It has basically stockinette, but up at here and then down here is a mock cable. The cowl has not started yet. It's going to be a one with lots of videos and lots of interaction. It doesn't start till the end of the month, but we did get some basic information. When you signed up, we got some basic information about yarns to pick. She does sell yarns if you want to buy the yarns from her, but I wanted to do something out of my stash. And so I'm knitting it. I'm going to knit it out of Cascade 220 in this purple colorway, and that's what the pattern's going to be. This is the mock cable, and then there's the stockinette version. So I'm all ready for when the first information comes out. She doesn't give you the whole pattern at once. It's not a mystery because you know what you're making, but you do get certain things each week. So I think it's going to be interesting doing knit along that way. So looking forward to doing that. And then the other thing I started was, everything's right here. Oh, here it is, right in front of me. And that is my friend Amy Palco came out with her first pattern, and it is called the Gala Scarf. And there's a picture of Amy wearing it. Okay, it's 5 different colors. It has an I-cord cast on, I-cord border, and garter stitch. So kind of a soothing knit. I have cast on, I have started it. I'm starting it. It's all hand spun, so this is the purple colorway. I don't know if you can see the, probably can't see the different shades, but after the purple, I am going to be doing this kind of bluish turquoise. It's not really turquoise, it's still blue, but that color. And then I have this purple, lavendery color of yarn. And then my 4th color is this multicolor. It has both purples and turquoise and teals in them. And so, how well you can see that. And then my last color is this merino. It's a solid green. Greens never record really well, but it's kind of like a darker green, so I can't really hold them all up together because one of them will fall down for sure. But we'll give it a try. There we go. Let's see if it works. It'll work temporarily, so those are my colorways together. And I might mix them up once I do the second one. If I decide I don't like what comes next, I can switch that order. It's not something you have to have designed in the first place. It starts with an I-cord, and you knit an I-cord, and then you have to pick up. I had a really hard time with doing that, basically because I chose to use black needles. These are Lantern Moon ebony needles, because this was the size I had available, and so seeing it on the dark purple was not the easiest thing to do. But I managed to do it, and now it's just garter stitch and German short row, so it's an easy knit, great knit for TV, or when you're with people and you don't have to pay too much attention. So those are all the new casts on. Meanwhile, I want to show you my mug. This is a mug I bought probably 15 years ago, 20 years, something like that. Everything's 15 or 20 years ago, it seems like. But I was in the UK in the Cotswold area, and I found this mug. And it has sheep going all the way around. And it has their names, breed names on the top. Okay, and you can't see it yet. It's a sheep butt right in the handle, and on the inside, there's a couple sheep. So it was one of those precious things I bought and held it in my carry-on so that it did get damaged, and I got it all the way home, and I've had it all these years, and anytime someone is over visiting and goes into my cupboard to have tea and grabs it, I go, oh wait, don't use that one. So I have to leave. The other mug I got on that trip actually did break. The handle broke in like 5 pieces. We glued it back together again, but it just doesn't feel good to hold it. And a lot of times for me, if I'm going to have tea, I want to feel it, to feel the feel of the mug in your hands and stuff. And so feeling that handle doesn't feel good anymore. But I'm happy this one is still intact after all these years. So the last couple weeks I've been in Oregon visiting my daughter, and I decided I would do a yarn crawl. And so I Googled all of the, top 20 yarn shops in Portland, Oregon. And I came that were open on Sunday, because it was a Sunday when we were going to have the opportunity to do this. And I came up with this list, and we went to 5 of them, and just really, really, really had a fabulous time. They were fabulous yarn shops. I went to one called the Starlight Knitting Society, and the minute I walked in, I found this on display, and I thought, oh, the new pom-pom, wonderful. And it is wonderful. It's all, the editor was Candace from Farmer's Daughters of Fibers, which is up in Montana, which is not really close to me, but when you're in the West, everything's so far apart, you feel like they're close. But so it's a very nice, it has some beautiful patterns, and at least I can show a few of them to you. All the creators are indigenous women, which I think is pretty awesome. And so there's a cabled pair of mittens, which are nice. That's called Badger Creek. And this sweater is lovely, but it's dark, so I don't think you'll be able to see it too well since it's done in a natural shade. Very lacy overall. It looks like a lacy overall pattern. But there's lots of different things. And there's socks. And then this sweater is pretty plain except for the baubles at the neck. The photography is stunning, just stunning. So you know that they were at that location. And there's a bag, which I believe is crocheted. It looks crocheted to me. This sweater I liked. It's called Drover, that's what it's called. And it's a color work. It's very pretty in the natural shades as well. Brown and cream. And then there's this sweater called Chinook Winds, which uses, I always want to find the best picture to show. Okay, so it's a combination of fringe added to it with baubles and some eyelet lace. Very pretty. And there's another pair of socks with a, looks very much like a quilting pattern to me with that star there. Another pair of socks. What else is, a lot of, and then there's a shawl. The shawl is called the Golden Cross, and it's shown in two colorways. It's in this brown, natural brown, and then it's shown in white as well. And I'll show you this picture because it really has a lot of cool texture. There's a texture in that, so that's pretty, pretty gorgeous with all that texture. There it shows the model wearing it. I think I might have shown you all the patterns, but let me gander through here again. I think, yeah, I showed you those socks. So, but it's a really nice, issue. Lots of articles by some of the women. There's a thing on a weaver in here with her rugs. Articles like Art is Healing, Indigenous Perspectives. So I haven't had a chance to read any of it yet. I decided not to read it when I was there or on my way home or anything because I wanted to be, just in that nice cozy place where nothing's going to interrupt you and just really be immersed in these ladies' worlds and their experiences. So highly recommended, the Lace Pom Pom. Just out. So I knew it was going to be a good store, and I started with that, and immediately the man named Tim who's working there said, well, tell me what you're making. And so I had the Corin cardigan with me because I was looking for buttons, and I did find buttons for it, so that was pretty exciting. And that led to me talking about going to Rhinebeck, and he told me last time he was back, and it was about 2006, and he said it was pretty crazy, but he actually is from New York and asked me where I was staying. And we got our lodging really late. So we're staying in a town called New Paltz. And he went to school there. So it was just like, man, instant. And he's telling me all stuff about the area. It was just fabulous. And okay. And then the other things about the shop that were nice is they had, other woman there was wearing the Ranunculus. So I got to see another one in person. And they had models for the Alpine Bloom, which is also a pattern that I we'll be making soon. Probably not going to do it until later because it's a summer sweater. Maybe next year I'll pull out the yarn that I bought for it and everything. But it was nice seeing models, because I never get to any yarn shops. There is a yarn shop in my town, but they just carry just plain wools, really plain wools and acrylics, and I'm more about the indie dyed stuff and the cashmere and silks and yak and all that fun yarn. So she usually doesn't have anything that I'm looking for. So when I travel somewhere, I really like to check yarn shops out to see what's out there, what's available, what I can see. And then I've never seen any, and I'll probably destroy the name, La Bien Amise yarns. And so seeing them was fabulous. And they had a lot of spin cycle, but I bought some of that online, so I was able to see that before. But was seeing yarns that I'd never seen before was really quite a thrill. Two of the yarn shops that I went to had their own dye houses. One right in the back room of the building they were in, and one in a space across the street. So it was really neat seeing that. It's really hard not buying hardly anything, though. Because I'm going to Rhinebeck, I have to save my money for that yarn frenzy. But I did pick up a couple things. This came from a shop called Ritual Dyes. It is a skein of, it's called Fae. It is lace weight kid mohair and silk, 459 yards. And it's in a color called Lapis Lazuli. So you're going to know it's going to be blue. But it's blue with the bits of green. So there's a little bit of green here, a little bit of green there, but mostly this beautiful, beautiful shade of blue. And since I like blues, I knew that I could probably add it to some yarns that I already have at home. So that was kind of a very nice treat to get that. Then on, my yarn is falling down the couch. Where's the last one? Well, I guess I won't be showing that because it is gone walkabout, even though I carried it out here to show. Some other things that I got were other silk mohairs, because that's what I've been trying to make a collection of. This was from a yarn shop called Close Knit, and it's Isager. I guess this is made in Italy. It is also silk mohair, and it is incredibly soft. I thought this green colorway was very pretty. I almost bought more of that, but then I saw this one. And this one is made by Berocco, and it's called Aerial Color. And it is also, 25 grams, 204 yards. It's also silk mohair. I'm just not being able to. It's 65% mohair, 35% silk, but it's variegated, so it goes from yellow to green to blue to purple, etc. And I actually saw this knit up, and it was knit up with the neutral, but then all these pops of color would pop in the background. So that's going to be fun. So those are the yarns that I got. And the other thing that yarn shop that I actually was in when we were in McMinnville, which is on the other side of the state, closer to the coast. Not the other side, it's about an hour and a half away from where we were. But it's one of these ruler bracelets. You've seen these before. They're just leather, and they come in colors, and they have centimeters and inches on them. So, and it just wraps around your wrist. And I thought it was a cool idea. I didn't know if I'd want to wear it all the time or anything, but I have. I wear it every day now, and I have used it multiple times, measuring how far is my sleeve. Have I gotten far enough that I get to do another decrease? Nope, not yet. So it's very comfortable to wear too. So that was a yarn shop called Entwined, and there were a couple of lovely ladies who ran that shop as well. And this was my thing that I felt I could buy. Like I said, trying to save my money for Rhinebeck makes shopping really difficult. So what is it in the future that I've been wanting to work on, or what am I thinking of working on? I've got one of the things that I saw in the Starlight Knitting Society was the Traveler hoodie, okay? The Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry, okay? They had this made out of, I think it was called Maven by Farmer's Daughter Fiber. It just felt incredible. When you look at the pattern, it just looks like heavy yarn and like ribbed and something, but this was this soft, beautiful stuff, and they didn't have enough of it for the sweater, which was good because I would have been really, really tempted. But going to Rhinebeck, I'm going to put this on my list of ideas of looking for yarn for it. The yarn if they actually used, it would end up being, almost a $200 sweater. So I kind of would like to find something a little bit less expensive. So but the one thing that I'm going to do is I know Rhinebeck's going to be overwhelming purchase-wise, and seeing everything, is that I'm going to be taking a journal, and in that journal I am writing down things like, okay, for the Traveler, I need DK weight yarn, I need this amount for my size, so that when I go shopping, I can be more proactive in my shopping and pick, instead of just picking all these random skeins like I kind of tend to a lot, because they're gorgeous, and then you have to figure out what to do with them later, to shop more for a project. And so after seeing this pattern, I mean, I was going to make it anyways, but after seeing it in person, seeing how it would look, I really want to get some yarn to make this. So that's a future idea. And when I was the thing with the Ranunculus doing is I am alternating skeins of the hand spun, because there's parts where it's more white or more blue. So I had to look that up on Google, and then I found helical knitting, and I found a few podcasts, and this was on Woolen. Is it Woolentine or Woolenvine? I think it's Woolenvine. There's two podcasts that have similar names. One is in New York, and one is overseas somewhere in Europe. But she was making these socks, and they're called Dreaming of Paris by Hilo Catelli. And here's where the helical knitting is. And so this is another thing. Like, I want to get some sock yarn, those colors. It's kind of like a blushy pink and a black. And I probably have some black sock yarn, but I don't have the alternate. And I thought this pattern was cool because it has a little bit of lace, and then the stockinette, and then the toe's different and the cuff's different. So that difference is an attractive thing for me when I want to make a project. And so I've got a couple other things here. I want to jump on the pressed flowers bandwagon. Either make a sweater, make a shawl, make something. And then I found, and so I bought those patterns because I've seen them on so many different podcasts that I go, yes, I want to try making. But I found that they had pressed flowered socks. So this might be a way to get myself indoctrinated into it, to learning the pattern and so on and so forth. So I think I'm going to look for yarn to make these socks as well. And one of the things you see a lot right now is everybody's top 10 patterns I want to knit this fall kind of thing. And I found this pattern and one of those. I can't remember who. It might have been Woolfolk Knits. But it's called the Latte Cardigan. There it is. It is by Kirsten Joel, maybe that's how it's pronounced. It's Joel. I don't think the J is pronounced. But this cardigan just looks cozy. It just looks so cozy to me. This pattern has a zillion pictures. And so there's that picture. I'm just thinking a really pretty neutral. I'm thinking they use something with yak or silk or something. But look at that texture. If you're a texture person, you will love this. Look at that texture in that. It just looks so comfy. It just seems like all the patterns that I've collected yarn for to do have all been sweaters. None of them have been cardigans. So I've been out looking for cardigan patterns because I need some cardigans as well. And there's just another shot of the front of it. It just looks like one of those sweaters that you could live in. So I'm excited about looking for yarn for that as well. I have been, watching all the different videos out there about how to handle Rhinebeck, how to do it well. It's not that you can't do it well, but how to not be overwhelmed, how to plan for it a little bit better. And so picking some of those things. That's probably not all I'm going to pick, but that's what I have to share with you today. And but that's about all I have. I hope you are enjoying your knitting and having fun because this gets a little bit cooler. I know a lot of people just don't knit as much in the summer, and once fall comes, it's just like get those needles out and get going. So I'm hoping I get really good motivation to keep going with the Corin cardigan because I need to finish it before October 12th because that's when I leave. Rhinebeck is until the 20th, but I'm flying out to meet up with my sister, and then we're spend a few days with her, and then we are going together. So I have to leave a lot earlier than when the festival actually does start. I'm also going to Woolen Folk and India Untangled. So trying to come up with a way, okay, how can I budget for those 3 events, And that's challenging. That's challenging for sure. So I will see you next time, and happy knitting. Bye.